This next part will be with Bill Blair. What a tool bag this guy is.
Well, thank you very much, Natalie, for that very kind introduction. And it's also particularly relevant for me to be standing here at a podium, Natalie Provost, because her lived experience as a victim of the terrible tragedy in the École Polytechnique is one of the things that motivated me and motivates all of us to do everything that is necessary to keep our communities safe.
Everything that is necessary to keep our communities safe, except actually target the criminals that are causing our communities harm. They'll do everything in their power to go after the lowest hanging fruit that's basically sitting on the ground already, which is legal gun owners. But they won't go after the criminals. Trudeau got rid of mandatory bail. He got rid of serving sentences consecutively instead of concurrently, right? So what does that mean? Okay, so you murder 5 people, you get 5 life sentences, but you only have to serve 1. That's it. You get some good time behavior while you're inside, and you're looking at possibility of parole after about 14 years for murdering 5 people, 10 people, 100 people. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. So what kind of incentive is that to a criminal that comes here to Canada? Because a lot of these criminals that have been causing the majority of the havoc over the last 10 years have come here after Trudeau flung the door wide open and said, oh, why don't y'all come on in here? We don't need to vet you. We don't need to do a background check. You come on in. And this is what we ended up with. You know, he deliberately set up an RCMP hut on Roxham Road in Quebec, a couple of kilometers just down from an actual CBSA point of entry, because he absolutely hates the CBSA. And this way, people would come through there through the RCMP trailer instead of going through the point of entry, because if they had gone through the point of entry, CBSA would have turned them right the hell back and sent them on their way. These people would have never gotten into Canada to begin with. They would have done their job, which they are very, very good at, and they would have sent these people packing immediately. But the RCMP don't have the authority to do that. So what do? They pick up the bags, and they're like, oh, just follow me. Oh, I'll get all your bags. Don't worry about it. And into the country they go, where they sit for years and years while they wait for their hearing. Ridiculous. So how do you stop that? Again, uncuff the CBSA. Let them do their damn job. They would turn these people right around and shoot them out. The people that have legitimate claims to be here would be given a hearing date. But it's not right that all these scumbags come in here, cross the border, just walk right on in, expect the greatest treatment in the world, the best food, the best lodging, the best healthcare, dental care, everything they get for free. They displace our own children in schools. They displace our own ailing, like our elders and stuff in hospitals, because these people that come here illegally push all those people out. And for some reason, all these illegals get preferential treatment. I don't understand it. But that's the Trudeau-Carney liberals. Anyway, you want to keep the neighborhood safe? Start by targeting the criminals. When the police bring them in, don't dismiss their charges immediately, Crown prosecution. When they do go to court, judges, don't feel sorry for them because they had a bad this, that, or the other thing. Who cares? Put them in jail, leave them in jail. That's how you keep our streets safe.
I have spent most of my adult life working hard to keep Canadians safe.
Yeah, sure.
And I do not believe that there is any greater responsibility of any government than the safety of its citizens.
So we're going to absolutely demonize and condemn legal firearms owners, and we're going to hunt them to the ends of the earth and make sure every single one of them is disarmed and stripped of their personal property. Yeah, okay.
Our government has promised Canadians that we will do everything required to keep them safe. And we have also promised Canadians that we would strengthen gun control in this country. And let me be very clear. This is not directed towards the firearms that are used by hunters and sport shooters in Canada. Those hunters and sport shooters obey our laws.
That is such a blatant lie. These new gun control measures, every single thing to do with this order in council that numbnuts issued in 2020, all the subsequent add-ons that they've put ever since, adding models, makes and models, and we're talking thousands. I'm not talking like one or two different makes and models, like, oh, it's just the AR platform, don't worry about it, you'll have everything else. No, we're talking thousands and thousands of different makes and models of firearms. Some would boggle your friggin' mind. Like I said, there are a number of semi-automatic firearms that are fine, that are still non-restricted, like the SKS, for example. There are a number of firearms rifles that are chambered in .22 long rifle that are still non-restricted and are fine. But then there are a whole, like this one that this new update to the list that just come out about a month ago. There's a whole list of firearms on there that are .22 long rifle semi-automatics that are now prohibited and are going to be confiscated and destroyed. Why? It's because they're replicas. They're modern replicas. These are guns that were made in like the last 1 to 5 years. And because they look like popular firearms from the past, from like World War II, World War I, because of that, they have to get gone. But why? They're chambered in .22 long rifle. Who cares? You can have semi-automatics in .22 long rifle that are non-restricted. Why are these ones being targeted and demonized? Simply because they look like something. They don't function any different than the ones on the non-restricted list. They function exactly the same. There's not a single part in these modern replicas that's compatible with the original upon which it's based. Not a single bloody thing. Nothing. But yet, they still want to ban them. They still want to strip us of them and destroy them. Or better yet, send them to the Ukraine so they can be used in the front lines. It's just crazy.
Privilege of firearm ownership.
Yeah,
through
sure.
Their hard work.
Yeah.
They buy their guns legally. They store them safely.
We do.
They use them responsibly.
We do.
And they follow all of our laws.
And our reward for all of that? Knock, knock, knock. We're here for your guns. But I didn't do anything wrong. Doesn't matter. Hand them over. But I don't want to. Okay, go to jail. I don't want to do that either. Okay. Well, you know what happens next. So, I mean, that's your choices. That's what the government's doing to us right now. All of us legal gun owners. That's what we're facing right now.
But we also know that there are other firearms that have no place in Canadian society.
Yeah.
We know that those firearms have been used. They were designed to kill people, and they have been used to kill people here in Canada, at École Polytechnique, at Portapique, in Moncton, in Fredericton, in Meyerthorpe, and in places right across this country. And they are used every single day in the United States to kill people.
That's every single day in the United States. Really? Really? Every single day, huh? This absolute rhetoric, this disgusting rhetoric against the U.S. is just, it's, my goodness, man. I mean, it was no secret, the Trudeau, before he stepped down, all last year, because he knew the election was coming up this year. All last year they talked about was how do we make the upcoming election a referendum on anything but Polyev. Then when Donald Trump won, it was how do we make the upcoming election a referendum on Trump. Forget about running against Polyev. It's running against Donald Trump. But they couldn't figure it out. And then Donald Trump just hands them a friggin' gift in the form of all these tariffs. And the carny comes out, tariffs. You'd think of anybody that would have their head on straight and would understand and have plans on how to deal with tariffs, it would be someone like him. I mean, according to him, he's a genius, right? Like, he's an absolute genius. He is the sole responsible person for making sure that Canada averted any discomfort during the 2008 recession. He single-handedly made sure that the transition out of the EU for Britain was done smoothly. You know, that was all him. Like, he did that all. Oh, wait. Anyway, it's just ridiculous.
Mr. Polyev has promised the gun lobby that he will weaken
the
our
gun
laws.
lobby.
Mr. Polyev has promised the gun lobby that he will restore the legality of assault rifles in our communities. And
that is such a blatant lie that he should actually be sued for slander. Assault rifles, he's not saying assault style rifles this time. He said assault rifles. Now, there is a very rigid legal definition of what is an assault rifle. Basically, the three basic tenets: removable box magazine, a pistol grip, and a select fire. So full automatic fire, semi-automatic, multiple round burst, whatever, 2, 3, 5, whatever. Those have never been legal in Canada within my lifetime. You've never been able to own something like that in Canada legally, period. So for him to say that Pierre Poilievre is going to change the laws and make it legal for people to carry assault rifles in their communities, that is beyond a blatant lie. That is so far beyond a blatant lie that it's gotta be tickling the ballsack of slander. It has to be. There's no way that it can be anything else. And I don't know how a piece of crap like this can get away with that. To say stuff like this, to say that the number one competitor to the carny is actually going to make assault rifles legal, and that people, and insinuate people are going to start carrying assault rifles in their communities. That's abhorrent. It's disgusting. And I can't believe that they didn't issue a retraction, an apology, like that Blair would say, look, I'm really fucking stupid. I'm too dumb to know a difference between this, that, and the other thing. And I just said what I thought I should say. Sorry. You know, I know you don't have to say it was a bang-on impression. I know. But yeah, it's disgusting what these pieces of crap will say. Just for what? So they can get elected for another 4 years? That's all we're talking here. Max. Another 4 years max. It might not even be that long. You know, if they form a minority government and it gets toppled. But why would you... Like, this guy was a police chief. Why would you destroy your entire career, your integrity by saying such blatant lies? It's just disgusting.
Promised the gun lobby that he will give us American-style gun laws.
Yeah, American-style gun laws.
And we need to stand up for our country, our values, and
Polyev has
police.
never said
And we
anything
need to do
remotely
everything
close.
possible to keep our community safe. And that's why I'm very...
Yeah, everything possible to keep our community safe. Except go after the criminals that are causing all of the trouble in our communities and who are making them unsafe. Right? They're going to go after honest, hardworking firearms owners who acquired all of their private property legally, are licensed to own it and operate it. That's who they're targeting. How's that going to keep you safe? How's that going to keep your community safe? When it comes to the gangbangers running around shooting up malls and daycares and elementary schools, oh no, we don't want to, don't want to deal with them. Oh, that guy, he's got a rifle that he inherited from his grandfather, who inherited it from his grandfather. It's non-functional single-shot rifle. Get him! You know, like that's their friggin' mentality. It's so sickening. It's so sickening. I don't know what else to make of it.